Hi everyone, my name's Linda Sunil and I am Pama's 7th grandchild. I'd like to thank all of you for coming here today, and also I want to thank everybody who was here yesterday, because I know Pama felt very, very, very loved that you were all with her, and I truly believe that she could feel the love. Pama was a very integral part of my growing up, and I think the things I remember the most about Pama and the memories that I will cherish forever were the simplest, littlest memories. Like every Sunday we would meet Pama in Appa's car, and then Appa would drive us to church, and Pama would get out of the car, I'd give Pama my arm, and Pama would hold on to my arm, and we would walk into church together. And then we would walk to the pews, and Pama would sit down and then let go of my arm. And then we'd watch the whole service, and after service again, we would stand up, Pama would hold my arm again, and then we would walk out of church through the side door, always the side door. Pama never went out through the main entrance, except on rare occasions. And Pama would be holding my arm, and we'd walk to the portico in church. I'd bring us 2 chairs, we'd put it down, and one for Amma, one for Pama, and I would bring myself one too, and we'd sit down in the portico, and Pama would still be holding my arm, and Pama would say, "Enna pilla, indha varam enna panna?" And then I would tell Pama about what I did during the week, and Pama would inquire about everything. Pama's love was very deep and very intentional, and she wanted to know what was going on in your life, not because she just asked, but because she really cared about what was going on in your life. So I would tell Pama, and Pama remembered every little detail, every small thing that I ever mentioned to her. Even now, Pama still remembered the names of my best friend from kindergarten, from when I was 4 years old. And I've lost touch with that girl, but Pama still remembers her name, and Pama still knows the names of my roommates. And Pama will never forget my birthday. Pama's always the first person to wish me on the morning of my birthday. And we'd be sitting in the portico, and then Pama would look at me and pull my ear and say, "Enna pilla, innik kuda kammal podama vandirkiya?" And then I would say, "Sorry Pama, marandita." And then after Pama meets all Pama's friends and we finish our meetings, again we'd stand up, and Pama would take my arm again, and we'd walk out of church into the car, and then we'd sit down in the car, and we would drive Pama to Pama's house, and then there Pama would take my arm again, and we'd walk into Pama's house, and we'd drop Pama there. And I am deeply saddened that I couldn't be there to hold Pama's hand as she came into and went out of church one last time. And I know Pama knows that I was there in spirit. Part of my heart is always with Pama, even though I'm 13,000 kilometers away. Pama knows that I loved Pama, and I love Pama, and that part of me will always be with her, as part of her is always with me. And another thing I remember about Pama is Pama's crab curry, and I can't begin to explain how good that tasted. I tried recreating it once with Pama's recipe, of course, but it didn't taste the same, because I know that the secret ingredient was Pama's love, and I know that I can never taste that crab curry again. Pama's favorite things in the world were, of course, her children and her grandchildren and her family. But Pama also loved, I think equally loved, chocolate and butterscotch ice cream and mangoes. Even if Pama was sick, Pama would eat mangoes and eat ice cream. And Pama and I were, I think, similar in many ways. For example, we have the same eyebrows, and Pama was very proud of the fact when we'd go weddings of her friends' grandkids, Pama would go to her friends and be like, look, she has my eyebrows, and that would make me happy because it made Pama happy. And another similarity is both Pama and I, and actually Appa also, would sleep in church during the sermons if the sermon was too long. And then my mother would nudge me awake and I'd be like, oh no, I slept. And then I'd turn and I'd look and Pama would be sleeping too, so I'd be like, Pama, wake up. And then Pama would wake up and be like, oops, we both slept again. And those are all things that I'm going to remember. And the last time I saw Pama was when Pama came to the airport to send me off. And and at that time Pama held my hands and she drew a cross on my forehead and she prayed for me. And Pama said, like, Linda, God is with you and he will always be with you. But who's going to hold my hand to church now that you're gone? And that really broke me. And it hurts more now because I haven't been able to hold Pama's hands after that. And I spoke to Pama, I think, a week ago. And Pama said, Pama said, like, she said I love you, and she gave me a flying kiss. And that was the last time she kissed me. So when she gave me a flying kiss, I caught it and I held it, and that's the last thing I have of her. So I'm gonna hold that, excuse me, for the rest of my life. But yeah, I really miss Pama, but I'm also glad that now Pama no longer has to worry about any of us, and I know that we will meet again in paradise when we are with the Lord after Jesus' second coming. So I just want to tell Pama that Pama, நான் ஜீசஸ் கிட்ட பேசி வச்சிருக்கேன். நான் வர வரைக்கும் அவர் உங்களோட கையை பிடிச்சு பார்ப்பாமா. நான் வந்தப்பறம் நான் திருப்பி நம்ம ரெண்டு பேரும் கை பிடிச்சுக்கிட்டு we will walk in paradise. And I have a little song that I want to play for Pama. Sunday mornings were your favorite. I used to meet you down in Papa's car. You did your hair up like you were famous, even though it was only church where we were going. Now, Sunday mornings, I wish you'd be near me. I'd be wishing with every breath to hear your voice. And I'm screaming at the God that you taught me to believe in, asking for just one more touch. And I'm still holding on to every word and every song. I don't want to say goodbye, 'cause this one means forever. I know you're in God's arms, but nothing's ever felt so far. Here I am alone between the heavens and the embers. Oh, it hurts so hard for a million different reasons. You gave me all of your heart, but mine is now in pieces. I'm looking through your have gone to Jesus. So I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of Pama. When I fall down, you'd be there holding me up. Spread your wings, and I know that God took you back. So I'll sing hallelujah, you're home. And I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of Pama. You got to see the person I have become. Spread your wings, and I know that God took you back. So I'll say hallelujah, you're home. So I know God took you back. So I'll sing